Boxing's called the sweet science, but sometimes it's downright brutal. We're talking deaths in the ring, ears getting bitten off, and corruption so deep it'd make the mob blush. These aren't just stories, they're the moments that shook boxing to its core and changed the sport forever. Before the bell, we're counting down the darkest moments in boxing history that'll make you wonder how this sport survived at all. Number 11. The Olympic boxing scandal of 2016. The Olympics are supposed to be pure competition, right? Well, in Rio 2016, boxing officials had other plans. An investigation found that referees and judges were handpicked specifically to fix fights. We're talking about medal bouts being predetermined before fighters even stepped in the ring. Investigator Richard McLaren uncovered that complicit and compliant officials manipulated at least 10 matches. The corruption was so blatant that when Ireland's Michael Conlon lost to Russia's Vladimir Nikitin, Conlon flipped off the judges on live TV and accused them of corruption. Turns out, he wasn't wrong. Here's the kicker. There was testimony about a $250,000 bribe offered to fix a semifinal bout between Mongolia and France. The Mongolian boxer lost with identical scorecards from all 5 judges. That never happens unless something's fishy. This scandal was so bad that the IOC kicked the International Boxing Association out of organized Olympic boxing and is still considering removing boxing from future Olympics entirely. Number 10. Billy Collins Jr., The Tragedy of Tampered Gloves. June 16, 1983, Madison Square Garden. Young Billy Collins Jr., undefeated and on the rise, faces Luis Resto. After 10 brutal rounds, Collins' face looked like it went through a meat grinder. But when Collins' father went to congratulate Resto, he noticed something horrifying. Resto's gloves felt paper thin. Turns out, Resto's trainer Panama Lewis had removed most of the padding from the gloves. Collins took basically bare-knuckle punches for 10 rounds. The damage was catastrophic. His vision was permanently damaged, ending his career at just 22 years old. Both Resto and Lewis got 3 years in prison, but that didn't help Collins. 9 months later, Collins died in a car accident that many, including his wife and father, believed was suicide. He couldn't live without boxing. Resto spent decades trying to redeem himself, but nothing could bring back what was stolen from Billy Collins that night. Number 9. Gerald Mlen, The Fight That Changed Everything. February 25, 1995, London Arena. Gerald Mlen, the G-Man, faces Nigel Benn for the super middleweight title. McClellan knocked Benn out of the ring in round 1. By round 10, McClellan was blinking repeatedly, then took a knee after a hard shot from Benn. The referee counted him out. But something was horribly wrong. McClellan walked back to his corner, then collapsed, telling his trainer he felt like water running inside my head. He underwent emergency brain surgery to remove a blood clot and spent 11 days in a coma. McClellan survived, but he's never been the same. He's blind, 80% deaf, uses a wheelchair, and has severe memory problems. He still asks his sister Lisa about the fight, unable to fully comprehend what happened. McClellan made just $54,000 for the fight that ruined his life. His sisters provide round-the-clock care to this day. The G-Man, who knocked out 29 of 31 opponents, became boxing's most heartbreaking cautionary tale. Number 8. Edwin Valero was a phenomenon. 27 fights, 27 knockouts, the first 18 all in the first round. The Venezuelan southpaw was electric in the ring, holding titles at super featherweight and lightweight, but outside the ring, darkness was brewing. In 2010, everything collapsed. Valero was arrested for assaulting his wife, then released. The next day, he murdered her in their hotel room. Hours later, while in police custody, Valero hanged himself in his cell. The boxing world was stunned. How could someone with such talent fall so far? His story became a cautionary tale about unchecked mental health issues and domestic violence in sports. Valero's record still stands, but his legacy is forever tainted by the horrific way his life ended. Number 7. March 21st, 1963, featherweight champion Davy Moore defends his title against Sugar Ramos at Dodger Stadium. In the 10th round, Moore gets knocked down and his neck hits the bottom rope hard. He gets up, finishes the round, even does interviews afterward. Seemed fine. 2 days later, Moore was dead with brain injuries. The tragedy inspired Bob Dylan to write Who Killed Davy Moore, questioning who was responsible: the referee, the crowd, the sport itself. Even Pope John the 23rd called boxing barbaric after Moore's death. This death changed boxing forever. Championship fights were eventually reduced from 15 to 12 rounds, and medical protocols got way stricter. But for Moore's family, these changes came too late. Number 6. The Raging Bull himself, Jake LaMotta, admitted to taking a dive. In 1947, the mob controlled boxing, and they wanted LaMotta to lose to Billy Fox for 20 grand and a guaranteed title shot. The fix was so obvious it was painful to watch. LaMotta, who'd never been knocked down, suddenly couldn't throw a punch. By round 4, he was just leaning against the ropes, letting Fox wail on him. The crowd booed, knowing exactly what they were watching. Even the New York State Athletic Commission visited both dressing rooms before the fight, warning them not to go through with it. LaMotta got his money and his title shot, but the FBI came knocking years later. This fight became the poster child for mob corruption in boxing, immortalized in Scorsese's Raging Bull. LaMotta spent the rest of his life living with shame of that night. Number 5. The Long Count Fight. September 22, 1927, Jack Dempsey versus Gene Tunney II. In the 7th round, Dempsey drops Tunney with a vicious combination, but here's where it gets controversial. Dempsey doesn't go to a neutral corner immediately. The referee doesn't start counting until Dempsey moves, giving Tunney maybe 14 seconds to recover instead of 10. Tunney gets up, survives the round, and wins the fight. Dempsey fans screamed robbery for decades. The long count became boxing's most debated moment until our number 2 entry. But this fight showed how one referee's decision could change boxing history. Dempsey never got another title shot. Number 4. November 13th, 1982, Korean challenger Kim Duk-koo faces Ray Boom Boom Mancini for the lightweight title. For 13 brutal rounds, they go to war. Mancini drops Kim in the 14th, and the fight stopped. Kim collapses minutes later and never wakes up from his coma. The aftermath was devastating. Kim's mother committed suicide 3 months later. The referee, Richard Green, killed himself the following year. Even Kim's opponent Mancini was never the same, haunted by that night. This tragedy forced boxing's biggest change. Championship fights dropped from 15 rounds to 12. The sport realized that those extra rounds weren't worth dying for. Kim's death saved future lives, but the cost was unbearable. Number 3. This one's straight out of a horror movie. In 1947, Sugar Ray Robinson literally dreamed he killed Jimmy Doyle in the ring. He was so shaken he tried to cancel the fight. The commission brought in a Catholic priest to convince him to fight. Robinson's premonition came true. He knocked out Doyle in the 8th round, and Doyle never woke up. When asked if he meant to get Doyle in trouble, Robinson coldly replied, "Mister, it's my business to get him in trouble." Robinson used his next 4 purses to buy Doyle's mother a house, fulfilling Doyle's dream. But imagine living with that. You dream of killing someone, try to stop it, then it happens anyway. That's darker than any movie script. Number 2. The Bite Fight. June 28, 1997, the rematch everyone wanted, Evander Holyfield versus Mike Tyson. What we got was the most bizarre moment in sports history. In round 3, Tyson's getting dominated when suddenly, chomp! He bites a chunk of Holyfield's ear and spits it onto the canvas. Holyfield's jumping around in pain, blood everywhere. Referee Mills Lane deducts 2 points but lets the fight continue. So what does Tyson do? He bites the other ear. Lane finally disqualifies Tyson, the first DQ in a heavyweight title fight in over 50 years. Tyson lost his license, got fined $3 million, and became a global punchline. He claimed it was retaliation for headbutts, but come on, you bit a man's ear off on pay-per-view. The piece of ear was never reattached. These days they're buddies and even sell ear-shaped edibles together. Only in boxing, folks. Number 1. The death of Benny Kid Peret. March 24th, 1962. The fight that traumatized a nation. Benny Peret and Emil Griffith meet for their 3rd fight at Madison Square Garden, broadcast live on ABC. Bad blood between them. Peret had taunted Griffith with homophobic slurs at the weigh-in. In round 12, Griffith taps Peret in the corner and unleashes 29 unanswered punches. Peret's unconscious on his feet, held up only by the ropes. Referee Ruby Goldstein finally stops it way too late. Peret never regains consciousness and dies 10 days later. Millions watched a man get beaten to death on live TV. Griffith was never the same, haunted by killing a man. He'd cry about it decades later, saying he hit Peret just trying to hurt him, not kill him. The footage is still hard to watch. It's the moment boxing's brutality became undeniable. This death changed everything. Better medical oversight, quicker stoppages, stricter referee training, but nothing could erase the image of Peret trapped in that corner or Griffith's lifetime of guilt. These dark moments shaped boxing into what it is today. Safer, but never safe. Every rule, every medical check, every referee stoppage exists because someone died or got hurt. That's the price of the sweet science. If this video hit you in the feels, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. We're dropping more boxing truth bombs every week. What's the darkest boxing moment you remember? Drop it in the comments below. Until next time, keep your punches clean and your guard up.